So you are either in or about to start your school year, and you want to know what are the best things that I can do to make my homeschool day get off to a good start. Today I have my 3 favorite things that I do to help our school days get a strong start. Because the truth is, it really boils down to us. Hi, I'm Mystie Winckler, homemaker, homeschool mom of 5 with 2 graduates so far, and author of the book, The Convivial Homeschool, Gospel Encouragement for Keeping Your Sanity While Living and Learning Alongside Your Kids. I'm also co-host of the School A Sisters podcast, a podcast for classical homeschool moms who love to read. And I've been homeschooling for more than 15 years now. We've had all kinds of ups and downs over the years, but there are 3 practices that I keep coming back to because when these 3 practices are in place, the likelihood of a solid homeschool day happening goes way, way up. So grab a basket of laundry to fold and let's dig in. So the reality is that the strength of a homeschool morning, the energy of a homeschool morning, the direction of a homeschool morning starts with us as the mom. It's about much, much more than managing the situation or controlling the people and making everything start off right. It first boils down to starting ourselves off right. The only kind of control we're supposed to have is self-control, not control of the situation or of others. So it's no surprise that a homeschool day has a more even keel, that we run on a more even keel when we have a specific and regular getting started routine. It is so tempting to just be spending the morning scrambling, trying to fit in as much as possible, but in a distracted way, being occupied with whatever task we find in front of our face, rather than knowing what our mission is and staying on target. So one key that I have found to having a good homeschool morning is actually to have just a few personal prep steps that I take every morning to put on my own game face, to be ready to face the day and not feel like I am scrambling in my pajamas trying to get other people to be productive while I spin in wild circles. We all have those mornings, but to prevent those mornings, we have to take some personal prep steps ourselves. Now, these steps are going to be different for each person, and you're probably going to need to experiment with several to find what works for you. These are on top of or in addition to a personal morning routine like reading your Bible, praying, eating breakfast, making your coffee. We need those morning routines in place as well. But to transition ourselves from the morning scramble to getting a school day started, we need a few practices that help us pull ourselves together and get started feeling like we are ready for the day. So I try to make sure that the things that I pick take less than 5 minutes to do, and that I pick 3 because I can keep track of 3 without writing them down. I can make 3 steps a habit. I can remember 3 steps, and I can follow 3 steps in less than 5 minutes, and then we can be good to go. And a big part of these 3 prep steps is that they are signals to ourselves that we are getting this day going, that we are on top of our routines, and that we are going to show up as homeschool moms, and we're going to do our duty no matter what everyone else is doing. So often my 3 are doing my hair, putting on mascara and lipstick, and filling my water bottle. So then I don't have bedhead and I look pleasant to look at, hopefully. Makes it easier for the children and for all of us. And I have my water, and being hydrated is an important step to keeping our energy flowing. And I can do those 3 things very quickly. Once my hair is done and I have a little bit of mascara, a little bit of lip gloss, my glasses on, and water in hand, I now can say to myself, let's go. We're ready for the day. Let's do this thing. The second tip I have for getting a homeschool day started off on the right foot is to have one place from which you start the homeschool day. Now, in different years of our homeschool, this space is different. Sometimes my getting started space is the dining room table. Sometimes it's the kitchen peninsula. Sometimes it's my chair in the living room. But after I have done my personal prep things, I've got my water in hand, the next step is going to the place where school starts. So choosing that space and then going there is one way to make starting school a habit, to make it routine, to make it regular, is that there is a place that signals, now we're starting. We aren't just mad scrambling hither and thither, doing whatever's in front of our face. We are intentionally doing the right next thing. So whether that's your morning time in the living room, or math time at the table, or pulling together everyone's checklists at the counter, whatever is your first thing, choose a first thing and a first place in which to do it. Then the kids know where they're supposed to be coming to. They know where you are, and you are in the actual literal space to get the day started. It doesn't seem like it's something that would be significant, but it truly is, especially for us as homeschool moms, where our whole house is full of all kinds of duties. Coming to our spot where we are going to start our homeschool day is also a way of shutting down in our minds the other spaces of the house. This is not the time for laundry. This is not the time for dishes. This is not the time to be scrolling on our phones. I've taken my steps to prepare myself. I have my water. Now I go sit in my chair and let's get this thing rolling. Okay, the third thing that we can do to keep our homeschool schedules happening is to have a motto, a verse, or a statement written out that we review. Now, maybe we review it during our personal prep steps. If you're doing that in your bathroom, you can have one of these cards posted on your bathroom mirror, and you're reviewing it, praying it, reminding yourself of it as you are getting ready. Or maybe you have it in your homeschool startup space, or on your clipboard that has your homeschool checklist, or in your morning time binder. As a part of your getting started routine, you have some bite-sized piece of truth that you use to pull your mind into focus for what you are doing this morning. It draws our attention not just to all the things that need to be done, but to the purpose behind all those things that we're going to be doing. And so even if we're doing a million things, when we have reminded ourselves of the singular purpose for which we do those things, we have a better sense of focus and mission and purpose that prevents us from feeling like we are just scattershot doing as many things as possible here and there and everywhere. There is actually a unifying center holding our day together, holding our actions together, and we are walking in the path of faithfulness that we have for the day, no matter how many different things we're doing. Centering our mind on truth at the start of it all helps us hold that thread of truth throughout the rest of the day. And all it takes is a verse or a motto or a statement on an index card posted in a visible spot right where you are getting your day started. And then you just make it a habit to review it, to pray over it very quickly, to focus your heart and your mind on the true mission and not on any distraction. Now, all three of these tips are actually covered in greater depth inside my course, The Art of Homeschooling. As a community, Convivial Circle is about to work through the art of homeschooling together with extra meetups, conversations, and accountability so that you can have a strong sense of purpose and habits that support that purpose as a homeschool mom. The art of homeschooling is all about learning the dance of home education because it is an art. It is a dance. It's not a science with techniques and formulaic checkboxes. It's a true humane education where we form connections to knowledge and also connections to people. And all of that is very organic and it can be very messy. And so we have to have the proper anchor points so that we can hold our position, help ourselves and our children make the proper connections, and work with purpose and consistency. We'd love to have you join us in the Art of Homeschooling. You can find a link in the description of this episode or go to convivialcircle.com. That's convivialcircle.com. In fact, you don't want to miss this conversation from the Simplified Organization podcast with several moms who have applied the art of homeschooling in their own personal habits at home. So check out the Simplified Organization podcast to hear real moms' application of these homeschooling tips for your homeschool morning schedule.